Hey guys, what's going on? Miss Sturgis here. You are in my kitchen, which is maybe weird. I don't know. Is that weird? Let's talk about Federalist Papers number 15 first. Federalist 15 was written by Alexander Hamilton. Hamilton and Madison, the father of our Constitution, would be the primary authors of the Federalist Papers. Alexander Hamilton is one of the most amazing and interesting figures of our early American democracy. He wasn't even born in the United States, guys. He actually was born in the Caribbean islands in 1755. Let me check that. Correct. 1755. It might help you a little bit to know something about Alexander Hamilton's philosophy. He was a huge proponent of a large central government. As a matter of fact, he even proposed going back to a monarchy. He did like the idea of constitutional monarchy. Look, he just never thought that the states would be absolutely absorbed by the federal government. That didn't make sense to him. And he was a really, really smart guy. So lots of people agreed with him. I can't say that. I don't really know that for sure. We'll edit that out because you have to believe what I say. Think I know everything. That's important. All right, so anyway, Federalist Paper number 15, he starts out by saying that he's already talked about the need for a new government. And he even says, look, I don't know why I'm arguing something that is so easy to understand. It's like, how can you even make an argument that the Articles of Confederation are working? He says most people agree that they aren't working. He says, look, the nation has lots of problems. We have debt. We have foreign powers in our land. We aren't legitimate in the eyes of foreign nations. He says, we are at the precipice of our last national humiliation. He says, foreign nations don't take us seriously. And you know what? People realize these problems, and the Articles of Confederation didn't fix it. He says that there are problems that aren't being fixed by the Articles of Confederation. And because of that, we should get rid of them. So at this point, a new constitution has been proposed. We're at the Constitutional Convention, remember. And the Constitutional Convention, as mentioned in your text, was created for the sole purpose of looking to ratify the Articles of Confederation, which you know is a nearly impossible process. For the Articles to be ratified, there had to be a pure 100% of states had to agree. What's that called? Why can't I think of unanimous? It had to be unanimous. Doesn't make any sense. Hamilton attacks the people who reject the newly proposed Constitution, and he says, "Listen, you want things that are odds with each other. They wanted strength, but they feared a strong government. They wanted unity in the United States, but they pushed for individuality, in that each state could stand alone. The governments of each state could stand alone." He says that they wanted protection from foreign countries not following treaties. This was a problem. But listen, how are we going to raise an army if we can't raise taxes? How are you going to pay them? You're going to ask them to do it for free? That's likely. Anti-Federalists wanted to get rid of debt, but the national government couldn't levy taxes. And Anti-Federalists would say, but the state governments can levy taxes. And then, of course, one would point to Shays' Rebellion. Remember that little issue that we had with levying high taxes on farmers? And listen, if any of you have ever had Miss Boer, I'm going to quote her here and saying, you don't tick off women or farmers. Hamilton also says that the strength of the nation is in its laws. A nation without laws will crumble upon itself. But listen, the Articles of Confederation create a Congress, which, as you know, is a legislative branch, and of course, the legislator does what? That's right, makes the laws. State governments don't have to follow those laws. They're mere suggestions. Hey, would you like to pay taxes? Nah, I don't think so. Hey, would you like to follow these treaties that we have in place with foreign nations, or, just do your own thing? Yeah, we got some going with France on our own. Hey, do you want to create a national currency so that we can trade between states without there being a huge issue and lots of math involved? I don't think so. We got our own things going on there too. There's lots of things that the central government could do and proposed to do, but had no authority to carry out. Look, if you have people act as individual entities, if states act alone, then they're going to make laws based on their own best interest. A nation like this will collapse. It's not a nation at all. It's just a bunch of different sovereign states. And he says that people who work as a collective are actually more moral. They act with more with the rule of law in mind. He says we are accountable to each other, that it actually works out better in the long run. Federalist 16, he goes on to even propose a bicameral legislature, which is what we have today, bicameral, two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and he says that a bicameral legislature will more appropriately meet the needs of varying, I can't figure out this camera, it's backwards, varying groups, different kinds of groups in the United States. So in any case, with that said, that is a summary of Federalist Paper number 15. There's also a very cool, it's a video by a guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he writes something called the Hamilton Mixtapes, and the first song in that is all about Alexander Hamilton, and I promise you it's really awesome. Hopefully we'll get to watch it in class. So anyway, if you have any questions, please email me, csturge@topeka.k12.ks.us. I will see you in class. You're all brilliant. Have an excellent, excellent day.